This is so nice. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be teaching you how to make Adire pattern on a small baby's clothes. On, let's say, a 1-year-old or 2-year-old baby. I'll be making a side arc design on this pattern. We're tying now. You have to use your hand to form a side arc, just from the hand of the t-shirt to almost down here. Let's just try and form an arc. Can you see? I don't know if you can see my hand. In as you can get a pencil, try and draw an arc here, and you begin to plait. I have tried to form an arc. If you don't mind, you can use a compass to form an arc. Here is it. You know, we started our plaiting from, this is where you tie. You tie with your twine. You make sure it is very, very firm. Make sure the rope is very tight. I mean, the twine is very tight. Then you can tie properly. After tying, you cut. You're trying to form a double arc, so you can still pleat it here. And you see, just maintain the pleats and tie again at the lower part. Make sure it is very, very firm to avoid the dye from entering into this part. So you tie. So here is it. Here is it. This is how the fabric looks like after tying. This is the curved parts that we tied, and the other end part. You know, we are trying to do a double cuff. I'm not covering this part because I want to change this color too. If I'm keeping this white color, then I would only dye this part. But since I'm going to dye every part of the cloth, that's why I'm not covering any part. The only part that we want to leave as white is the part that was tied. So now we go to the dyeing aspect. To start mixing, I want to use 2 different colors on this. I mean 3 different colors on this particular fabric. I'm going to use a red color here, I'm going to use a yellow color here, and a blue color here. So let's start mixing. I'll be adding my hydrosulfide first. You can add it in any quantity depending on the dye. So I'm using 1.5 because the dye is not much. Remember, I'm using 3 colors. So I'm using I'm putting it in my third bowl. I'll be adding the caustic soda too. The reason why I didn't add the caustic soda first is because it might damage the back, like it might spoil the bottom of the back, and it might not be useful again. So that's why I first added my hydrosulfide. So now caustic soda. So now let's add the dye. This is navy blue dye. So here is my navy blue dye. I'm pouring it on it. This is golden yellow. There are different shades of yellow, so I choose to use golden yellow. Lastly, I'm using a red dye. I empty it all into this bowl. So it's time to add our hot water. I'm adding water according to the quantity of dye that I'm using. Remember I said I'll be adding blue here, yellow, my golden yellow here, and red here. So you turn it, you add the dye. So that's for the blue. Then so now let's add the golden yellow to this side. You have to be very careful so that it won't touch the other parts. So now this is the red dye. We are dyeing every part here. You remember I told you that we are dyeing everything, so we dip it in. Check the middle, make sure you are dyeing properly so that you don't get to wash it and discover that there was a part you didn't dye. So that's all about the dyeing. After removing it from the dye, you leave it for a few minutes to drain and for the dye to get into it very well. So we leave it for about, let's say, 3 to 5 minutes. Then we'll come back and wash. So now let's start with the washing. So you are going to wash the color separately so that you won't end up mixing all the colors together. So we are washing the red first because the red is the larger part of the fabric. We are going to wash it until there is no residue in it. And you see there's still red residue in it, so we still need to wash. After proper washing, we cut the twine away. So we are sure now that the dye cannot mix with the covered area. Wow, this is so nice. Look at what we have here. Can you see the arc? This is so nice. Okay, so we have to wait for it to dry.